Will Big Ben come up small once again against the Bengals?
And will Andy Dalton continue his red-headed hot streak against Pittsburgh?
If you like what he did there, you're not going to want to miss the War Room Sunday Night Football preview.
The Cincinnati Bengals travel to Pittsburgh to face their arch nemesis, the Steelers.
Yeah, it used to be Steelers Brownies, and then it became Steelers Ravens, and now it's actually becoming Steelers Bengals as the best AFC North Throwdown showdown.
Well, Ravens Bengals. I don't know. Whatever the case, it's never fun to watch.
No, it's never fun to watch, and I don't want to live in any of those cities in particular. But in terms of what they offer fantasy-wise, there's a lot of good stuff in this game. Antonio Brown, it continues to be
top 3 fantasy wide receiver.
Oh, yeah. I mean, top 5 fantasy wide receiver. He's just been enormous this year. One of the biggest surprises of the season. And he left, I think, like 8 points on the board last week when he stepped out of bounds for no reason on the lateral play. There were 20 more rush yards to be had and a touchdown, which was huge. I wouldn't be surprised if that screwed some people last week.
Oh, I'm not surprised at all.
And considering that the Bengals, who had been pretty stout in pass defense in recent weeks, gave up a lot last week to Andrew Luck and the Colts.
Bengals D had like fantasy points, had like 0 or -1 even in some leagues.
And they got to start Drake Kirkpatrick again because they're all banged up in the secondary.
You know who I think is a vile human being but has been really good at fantasy recently? Who's
that?
Ben Roethlisberger. 16 touchdowns since week 9, tied with Peyton.
But he doesn't come up big against the Bengals, though. This is like the team, for some reason, just never has. He doesn't have that signature 23 for 31, 275, 3-touchdown game against the Bengals for some reason.
So who do you like in this game?
Who do I like in this game?
Who are you starting?
I'm all over Antonio Brown.
Of course.
I love A.J. Green. I'll tell you who I do like, Andy Dalton. It's a big couple of weeks he's had. How about 25 touchdowns on the season for Andy Dalton, heading towards a 30-plus touchdown and almost 5,000-yard season?
I disagree. Andy Dalton, the Bengals are another example of a team that's totally different at home than it is away.
Sure.
I don't trust Andy Dalton on the road.
But how about Mike Tannehill? Have you ever seen him play? Because he doesn't exist. He's real. He's fake. Ryan Tannehill last week, how about 346 and 3 touchdowns against Pittsburgh?
In the snow.
In the snow.
Very impressive. I will say, but A.J. Green had just 6 catches for 41 yards on 14 targets in the team's first meeting. The Steelers have a way that they rise up to play the Bengals pretty well. And I think that they're going to have a better game against the Bengals, fantasy-wise, than they did against the Dolphins.
And here, the guy that I was so hyped and so all over and was just enjoying everything about, celebrating the entire catalog, but has disappointed me 31 ways from Sunday recently, has been Gio Bernard. Hasn't had, in most standard scoring formats, has not had a double-digit fantasy week in over a month and a half. He's still showing the flashes of brilliance. He's getting his 4 or 5 catches out of the backfield.
Just not getting in the end zone.
No, they're giving it all to the law firm, and each of them is getting like 8 or 9 points a week, which is fine. But these are the semifinals. I need a big week. You got to give it to your most talented guy.
Yeah.
I don't like Gio is a flex at best for me this week.
I agree. What are your thoughts on Le'Veon Bell before we move on?
I'd start him.
Me too. Thumbs up all the way on Le'Veon Bell.
Big guy. I told you, like this big week. What he showed me against the Ravens a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
He can get decapitated and still have a big game.
He can, which is amazing.
Yeah,
he's like the black. I'm not quite dead yet. It's just a flesh wound.